tonight in the studio is Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur, paying us a visit from Washington, D.C., and we've got a lot of topics to cover. Let's start with the fact that the Justice Department filed suit today against Arizona's immigration law, claiming it's invalid and it's trying to second-guess federal law. What do you see happening in Ohio and with other states regarding immigration law?
I think that the public wants people to be in the United States legally. I just attended a naturalization service over at Put in Bay over the weekend, and we saw people from all over the world that became citizens of our country, law-abiding citizens, contributing citizens. I think that at the same time that we demand that everyone who's here be here legally, we also can't take away people's civil rights in this country. And it's my understanding that in Arizona people were being stopped just because of sort of a pre-existing condition. They may have had dark hair,
profiling,
darker skin,
that sort of thing.
Yes, which is un-American. So they are balancing something very difficult in the state of Arizona. Ohio's not quite the same kind of state, but I think Ohioans are basically very, very law-abiding citizens, and they want people to be here legally. And so as I said to one citizen who was out there, I said, look, if you have the name of someone who is not here legally, turn that into the FBI, turn that into the Immigration and Naturalization Service, turn it into us, we'll get it to the proper authorities, so every citizen can have eyes on the street.
Moving on to another topic, let's talk unemployment benefits affecting a lot of Ohioans. Will benefits be extended, do you think, and should they be?
First of all, we don't have a choice. I voted in the House to extend unemployment benefits. People have earned those benefits. This is a very difficult economy. It isn't just Toledo or northwestern Ohio or southern Michigan. It's all over the country. There's no sort of safe haven place to live right now. 83,000 Ohioans are dropping off their unemployment benefits because they weren't extended by the Senate. The House did its job, the Senate didn't do its job. So what we have to do is when we go back next week, continue the pressure on the Senate. That's where the blockage is.
Okay.
And by the way, people have earned these benefits. They work their whole lives. These are people who believe in the work ethic. And if we don't, as a country, affirm the work ethic, what we are going to see is people just dropping out of the workforce and saying and giving up. And that's not an America we want to live in.
Another issue I'd like to touch upon before we have to wrap up, we've been denied federal disaster status for our tornado-ravaged areas, but you say there's a little glimmer of hope for people who might need loans or other help. What is that?
Yes, despite the fact that Ohio is now appealing the FEMA's lack of designation of our region as a disaster area because of the tornado. On July 17th, we've invited the Department of Agriculture and the U.S. Small Business Administration to this area to talk to people about disaster loans, disaster assistance, low interest loans for rebuilding. I met several agricultural enterprises that had been harmed, and the Small Business Administration as well as USDA do have programs that operate separate from FEMA.
Okay.
I'm very disappointed in FEMA because whether a disaster is large like Katrina and they failed or smaller like this one, we lost lives, we had millions and millions and millions of dollars of damage, and they should be there for the American people.
Yeah, for people here, that's quite a slap in the face to be told your damage doesn't matter as much as somebody else's damage.
That's right, and they weren't on the ground. What kind of an emergency management agency is it when they can't be here when people need them?
All right, well, thank you. We appreciate the conversation. Thanks for stopping by, Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur.
Thank you, Laura.
And that is tonight's Talk Back.